Hello everyone, I'm Devin, here to bring you DraftKings NFL DFS picks for Week 2. For individuals new to the Sporty Mouth Channel, I will provide 7 DFS picks for GPP. The 7 DFS picks I provide are not the only option out there. Therefore, if you do not hear a DFS pick or NFL player mentioned in the video, does not mean they are not in play. Without further ado, I will get into these picks. My first DFS pick is Matthew Stafford of the Los Angeles Rams. DraftKings salary is $6,300. Stafford will be facing the Atlanta Falcons. I'm recommending Stafford because this early NFL season, the Atlanta Falcons are 25th in the league and allowing fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks. This game has a projected total of 46.5 points. This should translate to a lot of points being scored. The subpar performance in Week 1, Stafford, I expect Stafford to bounce back against a passing defense of the Atlanta Falcons that finds itself in the bottom half of the league and allowing passing yards to opposing quarterbacks. My next DFS pick, Saquon Barkley of the New York Giants, DraftKings salary $7,300. Barkley will be facing the Carolina Panthers, and I'm recommending Barkley because the Panthers has shown in this early NFL season that they're a team that opponents can run against. Barkley had a rush total of over 160 yards in Week 1. If Barkley continues to see the volume he saw in Week 1, he's going to make a good DFS pick against the Panthers. The Giants have shown they're willing to let him run the ball and find him in the pass game. Barkley has always been a good pass-catching running back when healthy. And for those new to DFS football, you always want to roster a player that can get you fantasy points in a variety of ways. My next DFS pick, Cordell Patterson of the Atlanta Falcons, DraftKings salary $6,000. I'm recommending this DFS pick because Patterson is a player that also is a decent pass catcher out of the backfield. And in Week 1, Patterson was targeted by Mariota 5 times. And out of 5 targets, Patterson was able to bring in 3 receptions. The Rams are ranked 25th in the league, allowing passing yards to opposing wide receivers. And with the pass-catching ability of Patterson, he should make a decent option for your DraftKings lineup. Patterson had over 100 yards rushing in his first week, and the Rams are 19th in the league and allowing rushing yards to opposing running backs. This is another reason why you might consider Patterson for your DraftKings lineup. My next DFS pick, Cooper Kupp of the Los Angeles Rams, DraftKings salary $9,900. Kupp will be facing the Atlanta Falcons. I'm making a recommendation for Kupp to stack Stafford with Kupp, of course. Kupp sees the majority of targets by Stafford. His first week, he had 15 targets, and out of those 15 targets, he was able to make 13 receptions. And definitely that's something you should expect going forward. He's one of the better receivers in the league. And as mentioned, Atlanta Falcons has difficulty defending the pass. And if Stafford is to bounce back from his first week, Kupp definitely is going to be the benefactor of Matthew Stafford having a big game. He's, as mentioned, is a player that gets targeted by Stafford. Stafford didn't play well first week. This matchup against the Falcons definitely Stafford should bounce back, and that translates to more fantasy points or DraftKings points for Cooper Kupp. My next DFS pick, Jalen Waddle of the Miami Dolphins. DraftKings salary $6,400. Waddle will face the Baltimore Ravens. And the reason why I'm going to recommend Waddle against the Ravens, most defenses are trying to stop Tyreek Hill, and that's going to leave Waddle as a benefactor of opposing defenses trying to game plan limiting Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, his first week had 12 targets by Tua. He'll turn those into 8 receptions. In comparison, Waddle was a player that was targeted 5 times by Tua, and he also caught 1 touchdown pass. He's going to need more targets, definitely, but if he's able to find the end zone like he did in Week 1, definitely going to make a good option. He's a player in his own right, a decent receiver, and with the adage of Tyreek Hill, it's going to make him even better wide receiver. Just a matter of if the quarterback play is going to stand up. Tua was decent first week. Again, found Waddle in the end zone, so definitely makes a good option. And that also helped Baltimore Ravens as 23rd in the league in allowing fantasy points to the wide receiver position. My next defense pick, Devin Duvernay of the Baltimore Ravens. DraftKings salary $4,300. Duvernay will face the Miami Dolphins. Let me first start off. I like the DraftKings salary of Duvernay. One of the few reasons I'm going to make this recommendation. He definitely fits this particular lineup at 4,300 DraftKings salary. He's also has seen targets. Now, I do not expect him to score 2 touchdowns as he did in the first week, but what I like seeing is that he's receiving targets. At a 4,300 DraftKings salary, he needs to somewhat like 4x his salary to really help your lineups out. And Miami's not a terrible team that defends the pass. With that said, I think Duvernay at his DraftKings salary, I think he's going to be able to help your lineups out because he is a player that receives targets from Lamar Jackson. And my final DFS pick, Andrew Beck of the Denver Broncos, DraftKings salary, 2,500. Beck's facing a Houston Texans squad. I'm making this recommendation based off of his salary, 2,500, more of a cap space play. His first week, he saw 3 targets. He needs about 10 DraftKings points to really hit value. He sees some time at fullback, but the main thing is he received targets. Now, will he see targets like that going forward? May be difficult to say early season, but definitely he has seen some targets, and he's made the best of those targets. Last week, I think it was like 52 yards. I think if he can see a few yards like that and a few more receptions out of the backfield as a fullback, and DraftKings has him listed as a tight end, but definitely if he can get the receptions like he did first week, he's going to make a decent play. And it's going to help. The Texans are 15th in the league, allowing fantasy points to the tight end position. Okay, before I leave, I'm going to point out a game and a few players that you may want to take a look at to consider for your DraftKings lineups. The players that I mentioned, I'm not going to really give an analysis to, but definitely want to check out. Do a little bit of your own research in that regard. But these are other players that I came across that didn't make it into my 7 DFS picks this week, but probably will get played in a few of my other lineups and stuff. Because as I state, this is just one of many lineups that you can consider for your DraftKings lineups. But the game that I'm taking a look at is going to have the highest point total, which is the Arizona Cardinals versus the Las Vegas Raiders. They have a projected total of 51.5 points. And for those new to DFS Football, that just means that's the combined total score of the game. And usually a high-scoring game or a projected high-scoring game usually translates to a lot of fantasy points being scored. So you want to probably take a look at that game and select your various players from either side of the football or either team that you feel is going to be responsible for the production of the yardage, scoring, and stuff of that nature that translates to scoring for whatever website you play your fantasy football or daily fantasy football on. I'm going to list these 3 other players in no particular order, just other players that I came across. Got a running back, Michael Carter of the New York Jets. His DraftKings salary is $5,200. Got wide receiver Jerry Jeudy of the Denver Broncos. DraftKings salary $5,600. And the last pick that you might want to take a look at is wide receiver Drake London of the Atlanta Falcons. DraftKings salary $5,200. I hope everyone found this information helpful. These are my DraftKings NFL picks for week 2. Please like the video and subscribe to the Sporty Mouth Channel. Take care. For anyone looking to save time building their lineups, you might want to try Draft Dashboard. As you can see on the screen, you get a 30-day trial to play around with Draft Dashboard, see how you like it. Definitely a decent option if you're looking to save time and if you build a lot of various lineups. And if you're looking to utilize Draft Dashboard for your lineups, there will be a link in the video description for you to check it out. Take care.